Hey, this is Scott Cole from whentobuyandSellStocks.com, and just wanted to give a stock market commentary because there was obviously a lot of action in the market today, and most importantly, we need to take a look at Apple. Apple's pretty much been leading the charge in the market, and in all honesty, I was surprised that it opened to the upside today and then proceeded to trade higher up to, I believe, 525? 526 was the high. And then we saw a reversal early in the afternoon, and Apple ended up closing near its low at about 497. And all this was also done on very high volume, as you can see this bar down here. So what I ended up doing, I was long a little bit of Apple, and I sold a little bit at the close because I think at least a short-term top is in, and I suspect that Apple is going to trade a little bit lower. Now, I'm willing to hold on to this stock for a little bit longer. Technically, there was not a ton of damage done, so we've got a gap that can be filled here. Let me see exactly where that's at. The low of that stock, or that day, is 480, and the high here is about 477. So there's a gap there that can be filled, and that can coincide with a test of the 13-day exponential moving average, which would actually be quite normal and healthy. So I'm going to wait and see what happens when Apple gets to there. Quite often what you'll see is ultimately you're going to get a bounce after it makes a short-term low, and then it's all about whether Apple can just trade sideways for a while, or if it makes a second peak and then heads back down. So you got to pay very close attention if you're long this stock. It's had a great run since the March 2009 low. It's up basically about fourfold, I think. So it even though it just broke out from a decent base at that 400 level, 425, I guess it was 425. It made a lot of progress over a short period of time. So it was definitely ready for a pullback, and it's a big stock, so its action is really having a big influence on the market. So that's Apple, and those are my thoughts there. Now let's have a look at the averages. Now, not a tremendous amount of damage done to the S&P here. But if it's not going to get any help from Apple, then I suspect we're going to trade a little bit lower here. Now, we have not had a true selling day in the overall market. However, Apple has probably been keeping the S&P and the NASDAQ a little bit higher than where it should have been over the last couple weeks because its action has been so strong. So if Apple's not going to be helping out, because apparently half the decline in the S&P today was attributed to Apple, and at least a quarter of the decline in the NASDAQ is attributed to Apple. So without the help of Apple, you might see somewhat of a pullback here. But unless I really see a true selling day where all the market averages are down at least 1%, then I'm inclined to want to stay long in some high momentum stocks. That's pretty much all I trade anymore. So bring up the Dow Jones. Now, obviously, we still have a lot of other issues going on in the economy and global economy and such. So there's some headwinds, and they might start reasserting themselves, especially this European stuff. And energy prices are starting to move up because of tensions with Iran again. So just be prepared for the possibility that we could get a true selling day. And in my view, that would be a real good time to raise some cash. So that's the Dow. And let's have a look at the NASDAQ. And you can see the reversal there kind of mimics what Apple did there, except the volume overall wasn't really that high. That's the other thing people have been concerned with, is the volume's been pretty light during this rally from the December lows. So that suggests maybe we're due for a little bit of a correction. Let's have a look at the VIX. And the VIX closed at 21.14 today. It's been quiet. It can probably trade up to about 25, and the market will shrug that off in a little bit of a mild correction here. So pay attention to what the averages do here the rest of this week. I wouldn't be surprised to see a true selling day. If we see weakness and just a slow grind downward without a true selling day, that would be, I think, beneficial. Because the overall market, I think, has really been confounding the experts with all these other headwinds going on. But the word of the day today is now to be cautious, because the overall market leader has shown sign of weakness, and that could portend weakness for the rest of the market. And we'll see you down the road in some more videos.